Hey guys, what's going on? It's Hey Coach Ryan, episode 16. I had to check. I'm Coach Ryan Knapp. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a little bit since I've done an episode. Last weekend, my wife and I, were in Colorado for our anniversary in a town called Ridgway, which is where we got married, which is an awesome little town, southwest Colorado, near Ouray, near Telluride. It was awesome. Got to run a little bit, got to see snow, a couple beautiful snowy days. So it was really nice. And setting up some plans to head out there and really do some cool running things here in the next probably year to 2 years. So lots to come on that in the future, so stay tuned. I apologize if you hear a little bouncing or balls going all over the place. My two border collies are in play mode currently and cannot be shut off. I don't know where the off switch is on them. So you may hear them wandering around a little bit. I'm super pumped for episode 16 because today's question actually comes from someone that's 9 miles to go and someone that wasn't solicited for a question. I got an email 2 days ago from Derek Dixon, and he asked the question that we're going to talk about. So it says, "Hey Coach Ryan, and setting goals for next year, is it feasible to shoot for both a sub 130 half marathon and a sub 19-minute 5K? Not sure, since one is shorter distance and one is long, if that's normal to do." His current PRs that he set last year with 2 weeks difference is he ran 132 high, 132.47 for half on September 12th, and then he ran just about 20 minutes straight, 20.07 on September 26th. And you can say, as you can see, he ran these two races pretty close together, so imagine his 5K time would have been closer to 19 minutes had he not been coming off of half marathon training. So Derek, thanks for the question, and I definitely think that you could train and run, and it's feasible to shoot for going under 19 in the 5K and then under 130 for the half marathon, especially since you're pretty close now. Now, in my opinion, you would be closer to being under 130 in the half than you would be being under 19 for the 5K. I don't know fitness-wise because there's some people that are better at distance and some people that are better at faster stuff. So I'm not sure which one you have more of a predilection towards, if you're a faster or if you're more endurance guy. But cutting off the minute for the 5K would be a little bit more difficult, and I think a little bit more time consuming and a little bit more necessary to focus training at than cutting off the 2:45 in the half marathon. And the one thing that I did to figure this out and to kind of reinforce what I was thinking, I originally thought, yeah, sure, is I went to Daniel's running formula, and I love his VDOT tables that he has. Actually, my VDOT tables are no longer in the book because I've used them so much. And it's a great race predictor, meaning if someone tells me a distance that they've run in the fitness, then I can use Daniel's VDOT tables and have a rough idea of around what their time would be in another event. So in this case, for Derek, if I looked at roughly the time that he wanted to do for the 5K, which is 19 minutes, so 18:58, then over here it has him pegged at 1:27:04. So for me, that would say, if you go to do the 5K and you run the 5K and under and drop that much time off your 5K time, that's going to have a pretty big impact over your half marathon time, assuming that you get the mileage in and assuming that you can maintain the level of fitness up into the half marathon. Not necessarily the pace per se, but just that your level of fitness would carry on to that. And last year you were pretty spot on. I think last year, essentially, if you took 19:57, which would have been what you ran for your 5K, the half marathon that I have you pegged at was 1:31:35. So it may have been a little bit overreaching. Again, it's not necessarily exactly correct, but it just gives a good number. So if I were you, Derek, what I would do is start the 5K training now. What I mean by that is, what I would do specifically is this. I would make sure that you keep I was going to write, but I can just talk. Make sure to keep your mileage higher. So if your mileage depends on race to race, I would keep your long runs in that and your mileage a little bit toward the half marathon end. Definitely toward the half marathon end. Keeping your longer runs long and keeping your mileage high. And then for the 5K, really focusing on the types of workouts that are going to lower your 5K time. So a lot of lactate threshold stuff, a lot of the shorter repeats, working at some goal pace stuff, and really extending that out so that you can hit that 5K time. That might take a little bit depending on what sort of athlete, again, that you are. If you're more prone to speed or if you're more prone to the endurance side. And then, when you have a good idea of going for that sub 19 minutes, or you pick your race and you go and you look toward race day, then you can really have an idea of where you are with that. Once you either come to the point of reaching your 19-minute 5K, or you decide that you've put a half marathon on the calendar later on and that's what you're going to go for, the speed that you gain kind of top end wise in terms of faster than your half marathon pace is going to help push you out to your half marathon stuff. And then again, focusing on the workouts that are going to make you faster at half marathon. So doing stuff at half marathon pace, stuff at 5K and 10K pace, really pushing up that lactate threshold and being able to maintain that as you get closer. Because really, as you start to drop your half marathon time, you're really working super close to your lactate threshold in terms of for your entire half marathon event. You're going to be a little bit below it because generally lactate threshold is what you can maintain for an hour, but you're going to be pretty close there with those types of workouts. So maybe even throwing some 10K stuff in and working on that, and then kind of building into that half marathon at the end of the year and using what you've gained at the 5K and 10K distance to really go in and tackle that half marathon. I think it's definitely doable. I think if those are your goals for the year, it sets you up super nice. And then even what I would say is after you take on your half marathon later in the year, maybe you can, if you recover well, maybe take 4 or 6 weeks and sharpen up for a 5K and then end with a 5K at the end of the year and see where it goes. It's what you did last year. You essentially ran the half marathon and then a couple weeks later you ran the 5K. I'd probably space it out maybe 4 to 6 weeks and run some sharpening workouts, some stuff at 5K pace, maybe even a little bit faster, and then go into a 5K and see what you can do. See what that longer run and that half marathon kind of tempo effort, see what sort of pop that gives you on the 5K side when you really sharpen it up and go in for the kill for that 5K race. So yeah, definitely think you can do it. And if I can help out at all on the coaching side or with any other questions on it, feel free to shoot me an email. I'd love to hear from you. So that's it for episode 16. Derek, thanks so much for the question. I really appreciate it. I'm going to make sure to email this out to you. And I will make sure to post this as well. So hope you're having a good day. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll be back tomorrow with episode 17. If you have any questions, you can email them me like Derek did, or you can always use the hashtag HeyCoachRyan on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you want to. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a great day.